Welcome back, Benchwarmers. Well, that seemed like a hit. That last one was our best video yet.
Yeah, I was shocked to see how well it did, but happy to see finally the channel gaining some ground.
Last week, we brought back a classic. I got 5 on it, and we actually hit.
It was so nice to see all those check marks. Want to do it again? I'm Corey, winner, chicken dinner.
I'm Brendan, first time parlay dub, and this is RV from the bench. Before we get started, if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss any one of the new episodes.
Also, if you could please do us the favor, if you like what you see here, please don't forget to smash that like button.
Come on, smash it for us. It's free. It's free for you. It's free for us. Helps out the channel a lot more than you probably think.
Hell yeah.
Corey, my man. We finally did it, dude. I got 5 on it, lost us our ass last year.
Yes.
But in its first debut back when we revived the legend, we finally fucking hit, my friend. We finally fucking hit. I actually saw a lot of stats that it was actually a really bad weekend in general for Vegas. So I'm hoping it wasn't just because we got lucky, because we're back again, aren't we?
Heck yeah, we're going back again. We want to try to see if we can maybe get back-to-back wins and see if we can get something rolling here. But yeah, I've been working so much, I forgot about the games. And then when you text me that we made it, I was like, wait, we actually hit all 5? I thought maybe you were just telling me like, ooh, we're 3 out of 5.
We're on the way.
Yeah. To go. But you were like, no, we already did it. It's over. I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. Like, we actually did it.
We actually freaking did it. Exactly. And we didn't even choose, like, it wasn't just all money lines. We had, now granted, it was the Steelers against the freaking Raiders, but we did pick a spread. Yes. They covered it by like 20. So we were good on the -3. But yeah, man, I was just stoked, dude. It was stoked. And the crazy part was we kind of doubled it down. If you don't watch that, go check out the Blueprint. That's a series that we've got where Corey and I help a fantasy noob try to win fantasy football. We had James Cook out, and he had 3 people on Monday, and we barely pulled that one off too. So a parlay dub, a fantasy dub. It was a good week, man. It was a good week all around.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same about the Titans, but maybe just 2 out of 3 was good.
That's okay. You have Will Levis as your quarterback, so it is what it is. You know what I mean?
That is the problem.
That's okay. Let him be in. Not you could take the licks this year. You could draft somebody with a high draft pick, and you'll be on your way. Don't worry about it. It'll be a couple years before you're contending, but don't worry. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. A couple years.
But we are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. So we have another parlay cooked up. The way that Corey and I went about it last week was, I guess, maybe a little bit different than we've done it before. Before we had just gone in and we're like, yeah, that one seems good. That makes sense. This one, we've basically tried to give a reason why we think all of these can hit. Not just, yeah, that makes sense. So on the board, you will see the spread or the parlay that we've got going this week. Let me go with a couple of them. Corey, you're going to take the others and kind of explain why.
You got it.
I'll probably take the top 2 here. So Rams, we got Rams -7 hosting the Raiders. There's a couple reasons that we want this. 1, Cooper Kupp's back. 2, Rams are off a bye week. Sean McVay is a beast coach. 3, the Raiders are playing the game. So that's another one. So those are like the main 3 reasons. A lot of positivity. We took the spread because the money line was just not good enough to really add much to the parlay. And a touchdown for the Rams seems pretty good. I feel like they might be able to cover that. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I feel like the coming off the bye thing is a big part of it with McVay. It's almost like Andy Reid coming off the bye, where they're very prepared, always seem to win. So they're at home, especially, and really the Rams are kind of playing for their lives. Like they're 2-1. 4.
Yes, they have
so
one
they
win.
Really need to win this game if they're going to have a chance to even somehow maybe claw back into a wild card spot. So I expect them, and as you mentioned, Cooper Kupp coming back as well. The Raiders are just not good. They've traded at Devontae. They're at their backup quarterback now, so it's just a lot going on.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot going on for the Raiders, which is not actually anything out of the norm. But yeah, I definitely think the Rams can handle business at home this weekend.
The only thing that I'm not nervous about is that like half the stadium is going to be rooting for the Raiders because it's LA, and that's what we've got here. So big mix of Rams and Raiders here. So that's probably the only thing that the Raiders got going for them is half the stadium is going to be saying Raiders. I mean, they're not going to score much, so they may not be saying it much, but we'll see.
No.
We shall see. Oh, you know what? Let's get Brock to score. What do you think? Just Brock.
There you go. That's all we need. As long as they lose, but Brock scores.
Exactly. All right, so the second one that we're going with, this one is a little bit different than what we normally do. We try to stick to games only, but this one was just too hard to resist. Saquon Barkley making his return back to New York. Yep. There is almost no way he doesn't score a touchdown against these fools. Now, the Giants' defense is stacked, but I have a feeling that the Eagles are going to want to feed Saquon. I also believe they're coming off a bye, right? Or did they play last week? Oh, no, they did play last week. Yeah. So this is one. I'm just Saquon revisiting his old stomping grounds. They're gonna. I mean, they're just. That seems like it has to happen. So we're running with Saquon anytime touchdown.
Yeah, I could not agree more. There's no way they're not gonna, especially if they get within the 5 or 10 yard line. They're gonna go to him at least twice, if not all 3 plays on that drive if they have to get him in there to focus on a point, especially if they get up big early. They're going to feed him even more to get the clock running and get his yards up and show the Giants why they shouldn't have let him go, because he, I'm sure, is a man on a mission this weekend. So we anticipate no issue with him getting in the end zone.
Yep. Agreed. All right. Take the next couple.
All right. So unfortunately, this first one that I'm going to have
Sorry. Maybe you want me to take it. Sorry.
We're just doing a money line with the Bills beating the Titans. As we mentioned, Titans are just not good. Will Levis is not good. The defense is actually pretty decent if you look at the numbers, but the offense is just terrible. And I think the Bills now getting Amari Cooper too gives Josh Allen another weapon and kind of gives them a little bit of a spark on the offense
at home.
And so, yeah, we anticipate the Bills taking care of business against Titans.
It was a big spread. Wasn't it like 9 or something like that?
Yeah, it was a little too big because it's just, you never know. Like they could get
an NFL team. Come on.
They could be up 17 and then the Titans score in like the last minute to make it a 10-point game, or you know what I mean? So we just didn't want to take that opportunity or that chance. So we decided to just go with the money line on it.
Yeah, and I know it kind of hurts you to bet against the Titans, but right now, I mean, you got to take some. Get them. Yeah, exactly. You got to take some good where you can. And that's kind of where we're on the next one. Please take that one.
Yeah, so the next one is also a money line. We're taking the Commanders over the Panthers. Again, the spread was really big, but we just feel like the Commanders with Jaden Daniels, their offense is just clicking right now, and they should be able to win this game handily, no problem.
Exactly, especially being that the last game that they played was a really close game against the Ravens. They were on the road. That was their first loss in a while because they were rolling. They're 4-2, I believe, now. Yep. So, granted, Panthers are starting to get a little bit better, too, with Dalton under the helm. That's been better. We've got 2 Panthers going, so we're hoping this is a high-scoring game, but we're hoping the Commanders kind of take this one. So, yeah. All right, last one, my friend.
Last one is we're going to take another spread here. We're going to go the Bengals 6.5-point favorite over 5.5-point favorite over the Browns. The Browns are terrible. Deshaun Watson does not look like he even knows how to play quarterback anymore, to be honest.
He looks like Will Levis. No offense.
Yeah. I don't know who I'd rather have out of the two, to be honest.
Well, Will Levis because he's a lot cheaper. That's for damn sure.
That's the only reason he wins.
It's the only reason.
But yeah, division opponents know each other really well. Again, the Browns struggling. I think that the Bengals have started to figure it out a little bit on the offensive side for sure. So I think they're going to be able to win big, and 5.5 doesn't seem to be an issue in our minds.
Yeah, exactly. The Bengals' weakness is their defense, and the Browns' weakness is their offense. So it kind of matches up a little bit for us. We're putting week against week and hoping that Cincy's defense can maybe turn things around in their season, get like a feel-good game in against the bad opponents. They could try to maybe boost some morale because the only reason, I mean, granted, they only have 2 wins, but there's a reason why. Burrow's doing work. They just give up more points. So it's tough. I mean, they scored 38 points against the Ravens.
Yeah.
But they gave up 41, so it doesn't really fucking matter. So we're thinking, though, that they'll be able to cover this one against the Browns, the lowly Browns. The only thing I'm nervous about is that it's division. But other than that, the Bengals should take it. Maybe we should have gone money line, but we're rolling with the spread because we need those odds a little bit better.
Exactly.
So that is the I Got 5 on it for this week. I'm pretty confident in it, man. There's a lot of close games this week that we kind of had to avoid, either really bad teams playing each other, really good teams playing each other, really good divisional teams playing each other. So there was a lot of close games, I guess you could say. So these are the ones that we felt were the most guaranteed. Granted, we aren't here to win millions of dollars. We see those parlays on Bleacher Report where you put $10 and you pick 15 things and you win 20 grand. Sure, right? But we don't want to waste $10 every week because those are so few and far between. We're trying to get some actual money. $10 to $80 That seems like a win to me. 8 times our money sheet.
I'll tell you. I mean, last week was the first win, as you mentioned. A year ago, we were doing this. I think we did like 7 or 8 times, and we lost every week. So we already 1-0 to start the year. We're off to a much better start.
Exactly. So, and if you're tailing it, you don't only have to put $10 down. You could put more, so you could win more. But right now, it's at a plus. What was it? Plus 782 is what that parlay is at. So that one, that's it, man. I got 5 on it, dude. I'm happy for this, dude. Again, hoping it hits again, but this is fun, dude. I really like this segment, so hoping it could be successful.
Yes, we would like to keep it successful. And then hopefully, if you're watching us out there, you can follow us along and get some money with us.
Yeah. Oh, wait. What's this? Hold on. Shoot. Actually, we have some breaking news. Corey, Brendan, back. Let's send it to you guys.
All right, thank you, Brendan. And we're back. We got to get an update on Nando's fantasy football matchup going into week 7. What's the latest with the waiver wire? How are we looking? What's our matchup? Nando, welcome back, Brendan.
Woo,
what's going on, guys?
Dude, the blueprint, baby. I'm liking this, dude. I don't know. I'm having fun. I know I talked about at the beginning of this blueprint stuff that I was over fantasy, but this has given me some new life and some rejuvenation to kick some butt. So happy to be back. Thank you.
Yes, sir, and I'm always welcome to be here. Thank you guys always for inviting me.
Of course.
Absolutely. I mean, it's your team. Without you, I don't know who we'd be talking about.
That's true, actually. We'd be talking about what fantasy football could be.
These other league that we don't know, these people, look at these matchups. They're crazy.
Wow. We're just randomly going to like random ass leagues like, wow, let's talk about that. Okay, so obviously, midweek update. This is the pre go live on Sunday. I know we had somebody on Thursday that kind of sucked for us. Didn't quite pan out how we thought, and we'll cover that in a second. But when we look at the matchup, let's go to the waiver wires. I know that we had kind of loaded up our team last week, throw some people on injury reserve so we can try to kind of keep some people around. So I know we had to make a drop, but we've added some people. Nando, give us a little update. I know it's going to be on the screen. Give us an update of the recent transaction, the waiver that we've pulled this week.
Well, yes, we at that time we were able to put Devontae, because he was out for a moment, into the IR, but he quickly came out as questionable right after. So at that time we picked up New Orleans defense, which was our Thursday night game. We dropped Tank Bigsby for Juju Smith-Schuster, and we actually got him, so that's good for now. So we got to see if we want to play him now or later. And then we had to drop a Dunze to put Devontae back in. But the Jets right now, hopefully, since he just came in after they just bought him, I think he has a pop off and show.
That's the plan. That is the plan. So we did, of course, as always, we're scrubbing for wide receivers because we just have this rotate. That's one thing we're actually pretty good at, man. We got quarterback, tight end, and running back all figured out. That's really no problem. It's just a circulating group of receivers, and Juju is now on the list of receivers we've had on our team this year. I think this is the third chief I think we've tried to pick up.
Yeah, dude, we've had so many opportunities and different guys. I feel like one of those baseball teams where you're just having so many injuries, you're just like bringing anybody up from the minors. That's what we're doing at this point. We're taking anything off the top of the scraps and we're hoping for the best.
Exactly. Pretty much where we're at now. So that's what we were able to pick up. We did, because Chicago was on a bye, it's the only reason why we picked up New Orleans. We did have to play them. But you'll see right here, that's going to be on the screen now, the week 7. Yeah, I got the week right. Woo! First try. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
I can tell your hesitancy. Week 7.
I know. Yeah. So you'll see the week 7 matchup on the board. This is the one that I really want to win. I want to make sure that we beat teams that we need to beat, and y'all understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, go check out a couple episodes ago. I go on a small rant. Nando, we got a couple of matchups here. Started with the New Orleans defense. It didn't come out so hot. I know that I messaged the group chat that we have here. I mean, kind of apologizing. Obviously, it's fantasy football. It's not that big of a deal. But you kind of said that you were on board with New Orleans too, right?
I was on board with New Orleans since they whipped my butt the first week, whoever had them.
Right.
I think it was 14 points that week, and I was just like, wow, defense is starting like this is horrible for me. But I mean, looking at week 14, as Brendan might describe it, we're looking for it's a challenging game, but 3 players from the same team could be catastrophic, in my opinion.
True. For either side. It could be catastrophic for us because they pop off, or it could be catastrophic for them because Seattle defense kind of holds. But yeah, we're looking okay. I think we're projected to lose by 9 right now, but only because our defense had a bad start. Because technically, we're only projected to lose by 3 to start the week. Corey, something I forgot, and maybe you can kind of go into this. I I don't know how I forgot this, but like, why wouldn't Sean Payton come back to New Orleans and
Dude.
do
Okay.
work?
Okay,
You know what I mean? Like, how did we miss
no.
that?
Let me. I'm glad you brought this up because I thought the same thing today. I was listening to, or maybe it was yesterday actually. I was listening to the replay of Mason Ireland yesterday. And they have the girl Michelle Smallman from the national show that's on in the morning every week to do gambling, and they were talking about the Saints game. But I listened to this like at midnight last night or whatever when I got home, so it was too late to change anything. But she was like, "Oh yeah, I talked to Roman Harper who used to play for Peyton, and he said he's the most pettiest person he's ever met, and he's definitely going to go into New Orleans with a plan, and he's going to try to embarrass the Saints." And as she's saying this, I went, "Oh
crap!
We played the wrong defense this week." And then as I realized that, I was so busy at work yesterday, I forgot there was a game and that anything happened. So then I went, "Oh shit, yeah, that was Thursday night football too. It already happened. We definitely screwed up." So, yeah, we totally slipped. I forgot about Sean Payton. I totally forgot about that factor.
Yeah, we were going because honestly, they had a pretty good run of at least 5 to 10 points for this defense, which is pretty freaking good to have that all year, even on their 4-game losing streak prior. So they were losing, but still defense was putting up enough with a couple sacks here and there, maybe a turnover or so. They were putting up enough points. And that's something that we totally blanked on, Nando. It's those little things about football that, as a new person like yourself, you wouldn't even think that the old coach who got let go a long time ago and then had to take a year off and then came back and now he's got a vengeance and that's a lot of stuff that you can think of. And that's where we come in and we dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 2 points is what we're running with. Better than 0, better than negative, I guess. But we were hoping for a little bit more on that one. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty stoked. Kyron's back in the lineup. He has a lot of people, like Nando mentioned, in Atlanta. So if Atlanta has a bad game, that would be great for us. But any given Sunday, right? Any given Sunday.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Nando? You confident still?
I'm, knowing the players that we have, knowing that a lot of them tend to be over in points, and I'm just hoping, like I did last week, that he meets their projected.
Yep.
I'm not too worried if he just passes it and someone else does bad instead. As long as it all adds up to his original projection, I'm looking into it looking great. But if not, hey, it's another week. It's fantasy football. It's unpredictable.
Very true. Very good way to put it. Very good way to put it. One of the big questions I think we have before we wrap up, we were torn on whether or not to play Devontae. Being on the new team, he's been out with an injury. Now,
yeah, exactly.
It could have just been an injury for trade purposes, but we really don't know, right? The designation that he's got, if that hamstring really is bothering him. But I know that Corey and Nando are both kind of on the page. I think I was the most skeptical one. You guys are both on the he's got to prove something, right, Nando?
Yes, he for sure has to prove something. If he doesn't, the Jets just wasted a bunch of money to pick him back up, as well as trusting that after that, the injury, I forgot what they do for him to make sure that he is healthy, that he performed well for it, and that he has previous chemistry with the team itself already.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
He's looking for some good wide receiver action right here. True. Like that's the best way to put it. Like at least he has Aaron Rodgers, who may be old but can still toss them right now. All right.
Hopefully, you want to add to that, Corey?
Yeah, no, that's what we're banking on. We're banking on the rapport of him and Rodgers from back in the day. Obviously, I think it helps a little bit too. Again, like we talked about, there's no film to go on because he hasn't played with him in a couple years. So there's just something that about they played together long enough that they probably have their own favorite plays that he's just gonna, they can look at each other and know like, hey, based on this defense, go do this and I'll find you kind of thing. So I think his first game back, especially with the Jets are desperate to get wins. I think they only have 2 right now, so they need to get their shit together. And I think that they're both going to go out there and ready to prove a point and get a win.
Agree. I like your idea. To your point, last thing. I know they can't because the ball is down, but I feel like Devontae and Aaron are kind of like this. Like you just put the football. All right, you're gonna run this way, like we used to do in the street. You know what I mean? All right, you're gonna run this route, and then right when you get to the lamppost, you cut in. I'm gonna hit you as soon as you cut in. That's like the rapport that I feel like they have. So I'm hoping it does pay off this week. But make sure you check back in to our Monday or Tuesday episode, one of those two, so you can see how we did this week for week 7. Are we moving to 5-2? Or are we kind of dropping back down to 4-3? We're in 4th place right now, and only 4 teams make the playoffs. So we got to keep holding on. We got a long season ahead of us still. It's only week 7, but got to start stacking wins. So thank you all for checking us out.
All right. Well, now that we're all caught up on the waiver wire and what our matchup is looking like, let's head back to Brendan and Corey.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Brandon, for that update. So we're looking good. We got the parlay set up, man. We've got the fantasy team set up. I think we're pretty good for the weekend, no?
I think so. And if you're out there listening and watching, please let us know in the comments below if you're tailing this one that we just got going, or maybe you're waiting to see if we hit 2 in a row before you really want to start following us.
Understandable. Yeah.
Or do you have a better parlay cooked up? And if you do, share it. We'd like to win because we're trying to win 2 in a row. We don't want to lose anymore.
So. No, yeah, maybe we'll freaking hit 2 this weekend. Let us know down in the comments below who you've got. Thank you all for stopping by, seeing things from RV from the bench. I'm Brendan.
And I'm Corey. Like we always say, enjoy the sports until we talk again.
Peace.
This was a Sycamore 4th Studios production.